This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service. Thank you for joining us. This is the only show in the metro area that talks about business expansion, real estate, construction, really anything related to Omaha becoming bigger, more vibrant, and more prosperous. Big shout out and a thank you to our sponsors. They are Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym, along with Dingman's Collision Center, Best of Omaha award winner, and top-notch auto body store with 4 metro area locations. Well, without any further ado, it's time to bring on my co-host, a man who is a legendary real estate deal maker and all-around interesting fellow to talk to at a cocktail party, Trenton Magid.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Jeff.
Well, good morning, Trenton. I've got some good news for you.
What's that?
The good news is we now have another Brad Williams Grow Omaha construction video. Everyone loves our construction videos, and it's been, I think the last one we had was November, so we've had a lot of people chomping at the bit, and this video is now available. If you want to see it, just go to growomaha.com. Click on shows on the navigation bar. And when you click on shows, one of the drop-down things will be construction update. You can see it there. And with all of these construction updates, Brad will go through and he actually narrates footage of the various projects. And very, very popular. Everyone loves these construction videos. And as you might imagine, all of the, the big high-profile projects are on there.
Yeah, it's great. And we get a ton of great feedback. And when he goes a few months without doing one, we certainly hear about it. But keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, you can pretty much search for any project, Mutual of Omaha, whatever it is, on our newsletters, on our website, and know what's going on. What these videos do is give a visual, sometimes video, and really shows the current status of the project. So thank you, Brad, for doing those. Everybody loves his photography and his videography, and he does a lot helping us keep the website up as well as the Facebook page.
A lot of people are excited to hear what we have on the docket today, so it is time for your Grow Omaha Development News of the Week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. That's where you'll find them online, but they are in the mortgage brokerage business, not the banking business. So what that means is they shop the market on behalf of their clients, finding them the best loan and lending solution and lender possible. When you're thinking about buying a new house, one of the biggest things you have to deal with is how on earth are you going to pay for the thing? And that's where Eagle Mortgage comes in. Doesn't matter whether you want to go conventional loan, FHA, VA. They also have some specialty loans they work with, but they're very customer service and oriented, and Eagle Mortgage will work with you and really make the process as easy as possible. Give them a shout. You can find them in person at 114th and Davenport, just south of Dodge, or go online to eaglemortgagecompany.com. First up, Omaha's Henry Doorly Zoo and Aquarium has been named the #1 best zoo in America for the 3rd year in a row. That according to the 2025 USA Today's 10 Best Readers' Choice Awards. So the zoo was #1, as I said, 3 years in a row. But then the Desert Dome at Henry Doorly Zoo was rated as the nation's top zoo exhibit. Last year, Henry Doorly Zoo had the top exhibit as well. But that's not all. Omaha was ranked #1 for the best zoo membership program. And if that's not enough, this year, USA Today also considered top botanical gardens in America. And Omaha's Lauritsen Gardens was rated as the 5th best botanical gardens in the country. So congratulations to all of the workers and leaders and community volunteers and philanthropists who make the Henry Doorly Zoo such a success. Omahans can certainly feel proud.
That is very impressive, and we love to tout our zoo. And it's amazing the people that live here that don't really experience the zoo like they should.
So we posted and we wrote an article about that on growomaha.com. And by the way, if you check that article, it has the whole top 10 for all the zoos, all the exhibits, and all the botanical gardens, so you can kind of see the other zoos that were close to Omaha or what have you. But I bring that up because there are about 4,000 people who have liked that article on the Grow Omaha Facebook page. And I was just kind of scrolling through the comments this morning at breakfast, and you could tell there were a lot of people in the comment section don't live in Omaha, and made some comment because for some reason they saw that post on their Facebook page. And I think it's a good reminder that the zoo is just this tremendous generator of out-of-town revenue for the city of Omaha and for Nebraska.
There's no question about it. And over the last 20 years, I mean, a lot of the credit's probably due to this show. No, seriously, we do our part, but 21 years and counting. But it's a group effort among the College World Series, and when we had the swim trials and all kinds of sports-related activities, and the convention center's really bringing it in. And I was talking to someone, and our friend Roger Dixon deserves a ton of credit, who runs Mecca and Century or CHI Health Center and the Charles Schwab Field. What else? They run the park. I think they run the park as well, don't they?
Are you saying he runs the zoo?
No, Charles Schwab Field and the park, the Riverfront Park.
Okay, yeah. And the other news item we have, Trenton, today is Scooter's Coffee this week also brought in a lot of out-of-town visitors. They held their annual Grow Conference at CHI Health Center Omaha, drawing an estimated 1,500 attendees. My assumption is these are probably franchisees or employees.
These people are wired, let me tell you.
They're perked up. Anyway, Scooters was founded in Bellevue in 1998, now based in West Omaha. Another Stump the Trenton opportunity here. Trenton, how many Scooters locations are there in America? You got 3 seconds.
I know Don Nichols, who's been on the show a few times, started it. I'll say
2.
I'll say 2,100.
You're a little high, 850.
Yeah, I'm way high.
But I'm telling you, it's probably within the realm of possibilities that they'll get to 2,100.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the number of coffee cups per hour.
They're that might actually be low. That's probably low, especially at like 7:30 in the morning or something.
Well,
like
I'll tell you one thing. I like their cups that are insulated, whereas Starbucks has those sleeves, like the cup phylactic, so you don't burn your hand. I like the double thermal, whatever the cup it is, so you don't have that thing falling off.
I couldn't say it better myself. Now, next news item, the former Paul's Sinclair gas station, 132nd and Millard Avenue, has been demolished. We've had several Grow Omaha listeners and subscribers basically write in and say, what on earth is happening there? Well, the Paul Sinclair is gone. It has a new owner. The use for the site has not yet been announced, but it will be new construction.
It's a sweet site, I hear.
Very, very, very much so. And then Omaha was ranked 7th in North America's next 25 markets list. This was from real estate company CBRE. They did this survey to determine the top tech economy, tech industry markets. And, they had the usual suspects, Silicon Valley, New York, Boston, all that sort of thing. But then they did this list of North America's next 25 markets, the up and coming tech markets that were not as well known or quite as developed. And Omaha was 7th on that list. This list was put together based on recent trends in total tech workforce employment, tech field graduates, and average wages for tech jobs. Huntsville, Alabama came in number 1. Not a shock because that's a major center for NASA and space and related technologies. Number 2 was Colorado Springs. Also not a shock because there's a huge military presence there, Spacecom and NORAD and all that sort of thing. Then came Dayton, Ohio, London, Ontario, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Albany, New York, and number 7, our favorite town, Omaha, Nebraska.
What's the publication? Is that I think it's called Talk Nerdy to Me.
No, like I said, it was from the real estate company CBRE.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then finally, we have some street repair Street repair news. The Omaha City Council this week approved a resolution to fund an $8.6 million project to resurface 144th Street between Pine and Arbor on the south side and between Eagle Run Drive and Hillsborough Drive on the north side. Then also Harrison Street will be resurfaced between 132nd and Eastport Parkway. This is the season of construction that's getting started. We've had a lot of freeze thaw, and so of course you have the short-term patching going on like crazy right now. But with spring now officially here, you're going to see a lot of resurfacing projects. Those projects are in addition. To the incredible number of lane miles that will be done this year as part of the ongoing $200 million bond issue street preservation fund created in 2020.
I don't think they missed a beat. I mean, I live near 168th and call it between Center and Q, and that didn't seem to take a stop during the winter.
That's true. They did do a lot of work during the winter on some projects. All right, that's your news of the week brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. Going to take our first break of the hour, and when we come back, we're going to bring on Simone Weber. She is the founder and head of Table Grace Cafe and Table Grace Ministries. You may have seen Table Grace Cafe. It's a very unique restaurant near 16th and Farnham Street, and we're going to highlight this organization and some cool things they're doing in our community. So stay with us. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics, right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Did you know that
What's the clicking back here?
What's that?
Do you hear the clicking?
I can't hear it in the phones. So at least it's not coming through in the microphone. That's good.
We're here to help.
Yeah.
I'm Leah Palmer.
I was hearing it too. I wondered if
Is it like something wrong with the speaker? Oh,
I don't know. It
Oh,
sounded
there's-
like somebody was clicking a mouse, like,
like that?
No.
no, like just a smaller
to say,
click
I
than
didn't-
that.
So when did you start the restaurant?
My husband Matt and I started it back in 2011. We actually started our organization in 2008.
Okay, and what's the mission?
The mission is nourishing hungry bodies and souls through music. And
No food?
yes,
You got food? Okay.
yes, we have our main outreach opportunities are our cafe. There you go.
Thank you.
On 16th and Farnham. We're open for breakfast and lunch 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We invite people to volunteer or donate for their meal. Then we have a job experience program, catering, and a food truck. And then the music part is how we go out in the community and share.
So it's mobile as well as
Yes.
storefront?
Yep. And at our cafe, we have breakfast items and then pizza, salad, and soup made from scratch daily. And then on our food truck, it's craft burgers, potato
Nice.
wedges,
Wow.
salads, things of that nature. And then also brunch items on our food truck.
Are the two of you musicians?
Yes, I'm a singer-songwriter, worship leader, and my husband is also a musician.
Yes.
He's the main chef, and like I said, he and I co-founded the Table Grace Ministries together.
Our family
Cool.
cares about your family.
Yeah.
Accidents are hard, but choosing a repair shop is easy.
And we've been at 16th and Farnham since 2011, April of
Who owns that
2011.
building?
What's that?
Who's the landlord?
Omaha Housing Authority.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Yep. So they loved the idea of the mission when we first came to them to pitch the idea back in the fall of 2010.
I think that building was originally was a new style project. I think it was one of the many new style projects that they renovated back in the 90s.
Not securities. Securities building?
Securities buildings also was a new style project, but this one's a little bit west of that.
So it's not for profit?
Correct. So we do a lot of fundraising, a lot of grant writing. Every day is a fundraiser.
Every day is a
Cafe. And the food truck. I mean,
It's like a sale at NFM.
Here's what the storefront looks like. You've seen that when you've been downtown or driven by on Farnham Street. It's real
and the
close
cameras
to.
are going to be here and here. Is that?
Yeah, but don't even worry because
Don't
he'll
worry
just
about
catch you.
them. Okay.
Yeah. If there's one thing Chris is good at is catching every angle of you.
Okay.
He gets you. So it's right by Block 16.
Okay.
30 seconds,
This is
last
Kristen
spot.
Gilson, Gym Director for Cheer Athletics Omaha. Do you have an athlete at home that wants to start or improve their tumbling skills?
I had a very
What about
vivid
taking
dream last
their
night
skills to
that
the
we
next
did the
level?
show and we were
have
utterly
the best coaches in the
unprepared
business
and
that want you
like
to develop those
we
skills.
forgot one of the commercial breaks and then we come back and like then you and I are like staring at each other like with nothing to talk about.
We got nothing.
it was just stuck with me. Like
Here we go.
I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I agree with this.
Fremont, we talked with Utilities Manager Jeff Shanahan about the devastation and the recovery timeline. Podcast link, morning news page, kf8b.com.
Well, good morning and welcome back to the show. Jeff Beal sitting next to Trenton Magid. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and along with Cheer Athletics. And make sure you check out Cheer Athletics if you are looking for the ideal place for your kid or grandkid, niece or nephew to get involved and become a competitor, become a leader, and become a better all-around person. This is the Cadillac of all-star cheer gyms. There are only 15 of them in the world. One of them is right here in Omaha near Highways 50 and 370 in beautiful Papillion. You can find out more by going to caomaha.com. We're going to highlight a nonprofit organization today that really impressed me lately. It was not too long ago, maybe about a month ago. I opened up an email from my good friend and former colleague from many years ago, Cindy Cruz. And Cindy says, Jeff, I'm now at Table Grace Cafe. I want you to come down and join us for breakfast sometime and learn all about it. I said, say no more. Come down for breakfast is all I ever need.
Breakfast.
Yeah, you had me at breakfast. So I came down to Table Grace Cafe near 16th and Farnham and got to meet all sorts of people there. And one of those persons was Simone Weber, who founded the organization with her husband, Matt. And we have Simone here in the studio today. Good morning, Simone, and welcome.
Good morning, Jeff. Thank you so much for having me. It's a privilege to be here today.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. And I got to tell you, we don't do a lot of these features like this, but it made such an impression on me. I thought we have to have Simone in here and talk about it. But before we get into a few things that I want to really focus on with Table Grace, why don't you give us the 30,000-foot overview?
Absolutely. Table Grace Ministries is an organization that my husband Matt and I started back in 2008 with the overarching vision of utilizing music as an opportunity and a vehicle to communicate about what we do with hunger outreach in our community. I'm a singer-songwriter, worship leader, and he also is a musician and a chef. And so we thought if we could do something for the rest of our lives that combined those gifts and talents and help our community, what would that look like? So we started dreaming and we came up with Table Grace Ministries, which our vision statement is nourishing hungry bodies and souls through music. And we started with a personal chef service, and then we quickly realized that wasn't far enough reaching with our mission. And so we learned about this cafe in Denver called The Same Cafe, stands for So All May Eat. Matt flew down there, learned all he could about a community cafe, which is donation-based, and decided we have to do this here in Omaha. So in 2011, we opened our community cafe on 16th and Farnham Street and have been there ever since with a donation-based model. And what that does for people is that it gives people the dignity of being able to give something of themselves, whether that's their time, their talent through art or music or some other poetry or something like that, or their money. And so we want everybody to realize this is a community for you. If you're listening, if you live in Omaha, this is a community cafe for you, because by choosing to come to our cafe, you're assisting other folks who need a hand up. And so we also expanded into offering job experience training. People can come to us if they have a gap in their resume and train with us for about 10 days, get assistance with job resume preparation and a letter of recommendation, and also a $500 stipend to kind of fill a gap as they go out there and look for work. In 2018, we launched our food truck so we can come to you with our mission. We also offer catering, and of course, music is my passion and heart. So last year, you might have seen us on 3 different stages with Table Grace the Musical, a musical that I co-wrote with our good friend Jay Gish. And so just lots of opportunities to be connected and to engage with Table Grace to assist us in transforming lives one meal at a time.
Do you have an idea of how many souls that you've helped?
Yes, that's such a great question. I'd say each and every year we serve over 15,000 meals throughout our organization. Our job experience program is at a capacity of about 4 to 6 people a month right now that we can assist in that much more deep and ongoing type of way, bringing them out of whatever situation they find themselves in and possibly, into a place where they can live and a place of work. But then if you add all the music stuff to it, it's, thousands and thousands in terms of who have we touched through the music. We go all over with our music as well. So
You have a lot of. It must be very rewarding to see the success stories, how people have turned their lives around or taken that experience and gone on to do bigger and better things.
absolutely. We just recently had our annual gala at the Livestock Exchange Ballroom, which is a phenomenal location in and of itself. It's just really an event when you have something there. But a couple of our recent 10-day job experience graduates, Nate and Alexis, shared their personal story at that event. And so many people in the room were in tears because they both give credit to Matt and Table Grace and us in terms of seeing somebody in their struggle and being able to give them the tools and walk alongside of them to a place where they could find work, one of which found work with us, and the other one has gone on to work at a cafe right around the corner from us. And I think the biggest thing is we come alongside of people. It's not just a once and done. People become a part of our family. We want to see them succeed. And if there are obstacles in their way that we can't assist with, we can find other partners in our community that can help with that as well. And so, yeah, the stories are pretty incredible and amazing.
We're talking with Simone Weber, co-founder of Table Grace Cafe downtown, as well as Table Grace Ministries. And Simone, you used the word dignity when you were describing the organization, and that strikes me as a very important word here, because there are a lot of outstanding organizations that serve people. But one of the things that I think really makes Table Grace Cafe stand out is the fact that you are bringing people up, teaching, having expectations for people who have certain needs, which is probably very good for them emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and all other ways. And in fact, when I came and visited that day and had breakfast, by the way, the breakfast is very good.
Thank you.
The people I met who were working there were people who had been through your 10-day program. And the amount of job satisfaction that they clearly had, their pride in the work, the pride in the organization was very, very evident. And so, so that tells me, as an outsider who is just learning about the organization, you guys are doing something right when these people that you're helping are so committed now to the organization.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal opportunity to empower people in that way and to give a piece of the organization. Like they have ownership of Table Grace Cafe, and when somebody's able to come alongside, and whether it's a paid staff position or a volunteer ongoing position, if they have experienced the transformation that's happened, and like you said, the dignity. I mean, I think that our culture values the dollar a lot. And so if people have a lot of money, they're going to get looked in the eye. They're going to get a lot of opportunities, and doors are going to swing open for them. If people don't have money, it's harder for the common culture to look them in the eye and to honor who they are at their core. And I think that that's what people experience at Table Grace is we're valuing the whole person. And then, like you said, I mean, if people are able to show up on time and work well with others, and we have a lot of challenges that we work through together, because some folks don't know how to be in a community. And so we're teaching and retraining how to even be a part of a family or a community where how do you do conflict resolution? How do you deal with your big emotions when things are hard and you still have to come to work? And really at the core, it's, like I said, honoring the whole person and then giving opportunities wherever we can for that person to grow in the gifts that they have. And So that's a variety of gifts, of course.
Yeah, well, Simone, it's a great organization. Obviously, made an impression on me. Now, not everyone is going to get a chance to pop in to the restaurant and try it and make a donation there. But if you want to, the exact address is 1611 Farnham Street on the south side of Farnham, just a little bit west of 16th Street. A lot of you are familiar with Block 16. That's a neighbor right there on that exact same block. But if someone's not going to make it downtown to the restaurant, what other ways can they get involved and help either financially or otherwise?
Thank you for that lead in. We have a lot of ways you can get involved. One thing I would say is our address is 1611 and a half. That half is very important.
I wasn't quite exact enough.
That's right. But it's even in one of my songs, 1611 and a half Farnham Street. So, and we are open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday for breakfast and lunch, closed Wednesday and Sundays. If you're not able to get down to the cafe to enjoy a meal, we would love for you to go to our Facebook page, check out what we're doing on a regular basis, like the Facebook page, because that's where you're going to find like current opportunities. In fact, today I think Cindy posted about our golf tournament that's coming up in July. So if you're a golfer or if you're not a golfer but you want to support the organization, go on to our Facebook page and you can sign up for a team or sponsorship in that way. We have a website, tablegracecafe.com. If people are interested in supporting financially, you can go on there and set up a one-time or a monthly donation, something like that. We also have opportunities of volunteer work throughout the community and throughout the year at the cafe and beyond. So you can contact us for those opportunities. And then if you have need for a food truck, catering, or music, wherever you find yourself in the community, keep Table Grace in mind, because we can come to you with those different services. Once again, that's catering, food truck, and music. And so we'd love to partner in whatever way makes sense for you.
Well, Simone, we appreciate everything you're doing to serve Omahans in need while also giving people the dignity of expectations. So thanks much, and good luck to you and your team at Table Grace as you continue to make a difference in the community.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Simone Weber, Table Grace Cafe and Table Grace Ministries. Going to take our middle of the show break. That means you're going to get to hear the news and the weather. Very important. But even more important than that, we're coming back afterwards, and we're going to tell you about a very cool project that broke ground in Bellevue this week. And we might even talk a little bit about agribusiness. So stay with us. You don't want to miss any of that. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So is it non-denominational, or how do you?
Yeah, it's non-denominational. It's completely independent of any one church. I do work part-time at a Lutheran church, so my upbringing is ELCA Lutheran. My husband grew up as a Methodist, but a lot of different churches support us, even like the Jewish community, non-faith, funders and partners as well. We decided to incorporate independent of any church just so that it could be wider. Yeah.
Well, there's a bigger mission. I mean, I think religion is wonderful, even though more people die in the name of religion worldwide. However, there's a lot of great people too.
Thanks for working that in there.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is, before you have to me, you have to have good character and be a good righteous person, and then everybody's on the religious spectrum. It's like so some people have too much religion. When you start self-absolving yourself every week because you're just not a good person, and I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
I can vouch she's a very good person.
Thank you.
But you know what I'm saying. It's like, some people that just weaponize religion, and that becomes a problem.
Yeah. For sure.
I have seen no evidence that Simone is weaponizing religion.
Are you packing today?
No. Thank you.
But speaking of religion,
I've got a holy sculpture.
But speaking of religion, like I mentioned, I've had the food from your truck at is it at St. Thomas Lutheran where I go.
What's
we have it there a couple times a year.
Yeah, that's so cool.
What kind of food?
On the truck, it's craft gourmet burgers and
burger,
burgers and specialty sandwiches. So sometimes they have like seared tuna and salmon burgers and things like that. And
That's
then
good stuff.
Yeah, and then salads and potato wedges and.
Yeah, the food critic back here behind the camera is like,
yeah,
salmon.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. And you were talking, I don't know how much time you have before you go back on, but
A few minutes.
you were talking about your dream. I had some crazy dreams before coming here too, and it was vivid.
Oh,
It
really?
was like things were standing in my way to actually get here
You
at
couldn't- you're gonna be
exactly
late?
8:55.
Yeah. That
So-
dream I talked to you about is a recurring one that I have.
Oh,
And then a lot of times I'll have it all be from the microphone. A lot of times Trent and I are doing the show, but we're not even here. We're like some other place. and you'll be looking at the microphone, and then all of a sudden another one I do is we'll be talking and we get distracted with something, and then we realize the commercial break has been going for 15 or 16 minutes, and
Oh,
there's
no.
hardly any show left. I mean, I have these over and over about Girl Omaha.
oh man.
Yeah, or we don't have a guest and we're just sitting there and it's about ready to start and we just can't think of anything to say.
We probably have about 1,200 hours of shows that we've done.
Wow.
21 years.
Oh my goodness.
Has been.
You know, I should have brought some. I don't think I do, but let me grab your phone number and I
It's
can
hard to believe
text
how
you
fast
a
21
couple
years have gone
things.
by.
That would be like electronic card type thing.
Especially when it was just like it was a 6-month marketing.
Do you remember who our
Oh,
first
okay.
guest was?
So, 'cause you're still
first
rolling.
supposed to be guest or actual guest?
We know who the first supposed to be was.
Okay, so the first actual, so that would have been week number 2. I remember it was that night we had Stephanie's 30th birthday party at our house after week number 2, and it went well. The interview went
I
well.
brought Starbucks.
Into the studio at K-Car. So we were on K-Car. It wasn't John. It wasn't John Levy or John Lanafee. Was it?
okay.
It wasn't. Because I remember.
His wife hung up on me when I called the night before. So this Trent Maggie with K-Car or whatever. No, it's not.
It's hard sometimes when you're thinking one thing and
Who was
typing.
it?
Greg Peterson.
Oh, I would have never guessed that.
He was working for Novel.
He was our so he was in the show number 2.
For our planning director.
Did we have 2 guests on that show, or was it just him? Okay.
I'm guessing. I think that was it.
Because I can remember at my wife's
We should have looked at all that.
party, at my wife's party that night, which I'm sure you were there. Several,
Where was it at?
our house, it was the old house we lived in before the current one. That was that night that my sister-in-law Lisa met her now husband Manish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Manish and Stephanie used to work together at ConAgra.
Right.
And we had this 30th birthday party, and it wasn't a surprise, but the surprise was Manish had moved to North Carolina, and he traveled back here just for her birthday party, and
Yeah, I remember that.
showed up at the door, and Stephanie was all surprised and whatever. And then Steph,
She didn't know he was coming, right?
no, that was the surprise. And
He
then
already moved.
yeah, he was in North Carolina, and then Stephanie's little sister Lisa had come down from
Got it.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those two hit it off at our party. So they owe us.
Yeah, 10%.
Manish and Lisa owe us, and their kids owe us big time because they wouldn't exist. I'm gonna call it a favor one of these days because of that. Of course, I owe my brother-in-law because he hooked up Stephanie and me, so I owe him for the rest of my life.
Oh, it's Scott?
Yeah. Brother-in-law Scott, if you're listening, watching. Yeah. He doesn't hold it over my head too much, though. So
Only when your wife gets pissed about the honeymoon, the wedding night.
don't bring that up to her anymore.
It wasn't.
She didn't like that story.
Small town, Marshall, Minnesota. And we're all staying at the Holiday Inn, and her brother, we had tuxedos on. And so,
Stephanie doesn't watch. I don't care.
Stephanie, a lot of it was Stephanie's fault because she like lost her purse at the church or something
Last thing
like
in the
that.
world Stephanie would ever do is watch Uncut.
And so Scott Graves, who's kind of a rabble rouser, a funny guy, great, he loves to plan parties and stuff. Like four or five of us were noticeably absent for an hour from
How much time did we go back on air?
15 seconds.
from the after party reception, and we went and got all kinds of supplies, and he just goes to the Holiday
10
Express and said,
seconds.
I can't believe I left my key in the room on my wedding night. I was so nervous. They just gave him the key like it was nothing. There was
we go.
nothing permanent.
All right, showtime.
Nope, permanent damage.
The #1 preset on our free, new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. News Radio 1110
Reversal of people.
KFAB and
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals sitting next to Trenton Magid. We are your hosts of Grow Omaha, and we are brought to you by Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym, and Dingman's Collision Center. They are like serial award winners of Best of Omaha because they do an outstanding job, and they've got you covered no matter where you live in the metro area. You live out northwest, you go to 120th and Maple. Are you urban on the urban core, you go to the Saddle Creek location. Are you Sarpy County? Got one in Papillion. And then, of course, just for good measure, they also have one at 144th and Industrial Road. Dingman's Collision Center, top-notch auto body repair, and they also have some mechanical services. Well, it is time for your Noddle Company's commercial real estate Development Spotlight of the Week, which is brought to you, of course, by Noddle Companies. This is when we highlight one of the Noddle Companies projects or activities near a Noddle Companies project. And, of course, Noddle is famous for doing so many blockbuster projects in the Omaha area. By the way, they do projects outside of Omaha as well, but here in town, Exarban Village, River's Edge, Builders District. They've got a new one brewing in Gretna Landing that's going to be incredibly cool. But today we go to Exarban Village, Trenton, and while there, we are excited to announce we have a new business going into the ground level of the HDR headquarters building right in the core. It will be called OTO, a new high-end cocktail bar. This will be known for having optimal sound experiences. Going to be high-fidelity sound. It will be, like I said, on the ground level of the HDR building, and the expected opening is coming up this fall. Meanwhile, Sunny's, the outdoor attraction at Exarban Village that everyone loves. They've got the famous Airstream trailer and all those outdoor activities and enjoyment area opening for the season Friday, April 5th.
Yeah, it's very exciting what's going on. There's also that they're going to feature women music. It's going to be called Garden Party. And Saturday, May 10th from 2 to 11 p.m., all kinds of different acts from Abby Holiday to, Autumnal, Keo and Them, Honey Marmalade, Ione, Peachy Beaches, Twin Pages, and Grace Lundy. So that'll be fun on May 10th. And that was given to us by none other than Sam Noddle, who was brought up in real estate, and he choreographs a lot of the things that happen at Exarban Village. And Sam, our friend, is also single. He's about 31, 32 years old, stealth, handsome man, and he's kind of shy a little bit, but he's looking for a girlfriend. And so if you know anybody, say 25 to 33 or so, look up Sam Noddle, and you can't go wrong with Sam. Very fit. He's also does their running club at Exarban, so shout out to Sam.
So is this like now the Grow Omaha dating service that we have
Yeah.
here? This kind of reminds me of the dating version of an old radio standby called Radio Tradio. Do you remember Radio Tradio when that was on KFAB many years ago?
When you lost your dog?
Well, yeah, or something like KFAB did that too. But during the Radio Tradio days, you could call in and you could say, "I'm looking for." It's some bizarre thing. Like I remember one time someone came in and they were looking for certain types of machinery equipment. And then another person could call in and say what they had for sale. And I swear one of the best Radio Tradio versions I ever heard, because I sometimes would listen to it. It was like watching a car accident. And the best one ever was this guy says, "I got some rusty box springs in my pasture, and I'll take $5 a piece for them." I remember thinking somewhere, someone listening to Radio Tradio is probably going to buy those $5 rusty box spring mattress things in someone's farm pasture.
I think that alone created social media.
So this is Dadio. This is Dadio Tradio. If you want to be Sam Noddle's date, just contact us and we will connect you with him.
He's easy to find, too.
And that's your Noddle Company's Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week. A different Noddle Company's Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week than any other we've ever had. And with that, I'm going to do another episode of Stump the Trenton. Trenton, do not look at my computer screen because that would be a form of cheating. And so I have a couple questions for you. The first question is, what is the most urbanized county in Nebraska? What is the most urbanized county in Nebraska?
Cherry?
No, it would be Douglas County, the home of Omaha. Second question.
Oh, urbanized.
Yes, urbanized county.
Sorry.
Okay. See, this is why we have to pay attention to the show that you're co-hosting. Now,
I thought I was thinking yeah.
Okay, so we know that Douglas County. Okay, so Jeff.
I would have had that. That didn't count.
Jeff won, Trenton nothing.
That was a practice question.
And now we've got our second question. What county in Nebraska has more agriculture-related jobs than any other? Don't take too long because their silence sounds awkward on the radio.
Bill?
It would be Douglas County. So Jeff 2, Trenton nothing. There is no such thing as Bill County. So Nebraska has 29,000, or rather Douglas County has 29,000 agriculture-related jobs. Of course, the reason for it is there are a lot of headquarters jobs of companies that are in agribusiness.
They're not in the fields.
They're probably not in the fields, although we do have a little bit of that out in western Douglas County. And the reason I share that is the Greater Omaha Chamber this week held a press conference for National Agriculture Day. And just real quickly, Nebraska's agriculture sector supports more than 244,000 jobs statewide, contributes almost $100 billion in sales, and generates more than $6 billion in tax revenue. Like we said, Douglas County has 29,000 ag jobs, more than any other state. Hey, I also want to give a shout out to the city of Bellevue. They hosted a groundbreaking ceremony Thursday afternoon for the $60 million Bellevue Bay Indoor Water Park. This is going to be at the highways 50 and the highway 75 Kennedy Freeway and U.S. Highway 34 interchange on the south side of Bellevue. Construction is underway. They've already done a lot of dirt work. It should start to have serious building construction being visible to passersby this summer. It's going to be a 2-year build, so it'll open in about 2 years. But this indoor water park will be 60,000 square feet. It will be 80 feet tall at the roof. And speaking of the roof, it will be retractable. So when the summer season is here, you will have the roof open. And in the winter, they'll close it. So it's 365. And one other thing very, very cool about this project that will open in 2 years, it will be the 4th biggest indoor water park in America.
That's pretty impressive. You got to give them credit. If they pull this off, I think it'll be popular.
Yeah, and the expectation is that it will regularly draw people within 300 miles, but they expect every year they will get visitors from all 50 states at one point during the year.
That's impressive. I've got a trivia question for you.
Okay, real fast.
How many lane miles are there on Omaha streets?
There would be 12,146.
No, you went over. Sorry.
Okay, and what is the actual answer?
I don't know.
And with that, we are going to take our final break, and when we come back, we'll have a very abbreviated Perkins Kreitzer Construction lightning round. We're going to go really fast. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, Cheer Athletics, and of course, Perkins Kreitzer Construction on News Radio 1110 KFAB. So we'll be really tight, won't we? So what we have 3 minutes?
Let's see. 51. Let's see, 56. Still have about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I was thinking like pasture land, urban.
Oh, yeah.
I should know that.
I thought maybe it was such a good stump that Trenton.
So easy. Yeah, it took me for a loop. Thanks. I was
The only
listening.
reason I knew that is because I read the newsletter and I saw that. And
yeah.
it made me go, really?
On the
I would not have picked it.
I had it in the Did You Know section.
Yeah.
See, I was safe quizzing Trenton on that because I know he doesn't read the newsletter.
Rich Secor and Sharon are down in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Down in Lacey's.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they were down in New Orleans and listening to the show on the stream.
Hanson Snow Blitz. Those snowballs, remember those?
Or are they like a slushy or a snow cone with alcohol in it or something?
No.
Oh.
You can't
Is that a
remember.
real thing?
Cream and stuff.
Radio.
Radio, yeah.
Wow.
It was a big thing on KFB. I think it was
My
Saturday.
name's Bob.
It was Saturday afternoon, yeah. People were like, I've got an 88 Pontiac Bonneville and I want to get rid of. Doesn't run, but you can have it for $1. And then some people are like, I'm looking for some vintage jumper cables from the 1960s, or I'm an antique collector. I mean, it was bizarre stuff.
Wow.
Flea market radio.
I would sit there and listen to it. Sometimes it was like, you ever have a toothache and you push against it just to see if it still hurts?
Yeah.
It was that. It's like I shouldn't be listening to this, but I can't stop listening to
I
it.
did a show like that when I was in Nebraska City, so I was like, I didn't know KFAB did that.
Oh gosh, yeah, it was radio tradio.
God, that sounds so crazy.
But this was before you had Angie's List, Craigslist, Google,
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Before you had, this was before you had these places where you can sell the clothes your kid outgrows and
15 seconds.
all that. None of that existed back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or simply inject some personality. We've got you covered. Check us out today at Renze.com. That's RENZE.com.
As always, a planet news cycle. We'll watch all of it by the Trump date and a lot more. Join us. KFAB Morning News. Monday.
It's time for your Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round, in which we talk about a lot of things really fast. And a lot of the things we talk about are retail, restaurants, so big stuff on the agenda here. Thank you to Perkins Kreitzer Construction for making this possible. They are a full-service Class A general contractor. They are headquartered right here in Omaha, but they do work over the course of the entire region, out to North Platte, up to Sioux City, into the heart of Western Iowa, and of course, all of the greater Omaha metropolitan area. Perkins Kreitzer Construction is led by our good friend Dave Kreitzer. A lot of experience. He has assembled a heck of a team, and they're very customer focused. They're very budget conscious, but they also do beautiful work. And so if you want to build a new store or a shopping center or a church or an office building, or you just need to build out your retail or office space, get a hold of Perkins Kreitzer Construction. You can find them at P-C Perkins Kreitzer, get it, P-C construction.com. All right, a lot of things to talk about today. First of all, North Italia will open its first Nebraska location in the former Bravo restaurant space at Village Point. North Italia is a national chain under the Cheesecake Factory umbrella of restaurant brands, and they serve pasta, pizza, Italian-inspired dishes, as the name would indicate. They have 39 locations in 13 states currently. Closest existing ones are in the Kansas City and Denver areas. So that'll be a very popular addition. I've not tried North Italia, but I hear that it's pretty darn good.
Have you been to Meddy's yet across the street?
No, I've been wanting to try that one as well, but
Meddy's is pretty good.
not.
Price points are really good, like $10 to $20. It was a beautiful day. Was that Tuesday, and the glass walls were open, and really neat, great pitas and soups and all kinds of Mediterranean food, and so I'd recommend trying it.
Set the Bar, a sports bar dedicated to showcasing and celebrating women's sports, has officially launched. They had their grand opening yesterday at 6121 Maple Street in the Benson Business District. Very cool. This is only the 8th women's sports-focused sports bar in the United States of America, and the very first one in Nebraska. We have a new casual but fine dining restaurant that is coming to the Gretna area. It's going to be called Marrow, and it'll be at 178th and Oakmont Drive. Basically, Oakmont Drive is 1 block north of Highway 370. So call it 178th and Highway 370. Right now in that same little complex, there's a Net Par golf business and a Rowley coffee shop. But this will be a local restaurant. It is from the same owners who have Timber Woodfire Bistro, Railcar Modern American Kitchen, and Pasta Amore. So that'll be a great addition. Wild Chicken Grill will soon open its second location at 82nd and Giles Road in La Vista in a building that formerly was home to Long John Silver's and A&W. It's just south of La Vista City Center. It is a fast casual eatery offering grilled and crispy chicken, burgers, stuffed burritos, and breakfast items. Current location is in Bellevue at 3604 Twin Creek Park. Then we have Summer Kitchen Cafe in Sterling Ridge near 132nd and Pacific. They're expanding. They're going into the former Arc Bridal boutique space next door. When that's done, Summer Kitchen Cafe there will be 4,000 square feet. And they have an existing location, or another location, I should say, in La Vista's Southport area. Snowy Sundays, a family-owned dessert shop in Benson at 60th and Maple next to Ted and Wally's, reopens today after a remodeling project that has been going on since January 13th. So if you're in the Benson area, you may want to check that out. Aldi, the grocery store in Gretna, opened at 192nd and Highway 370 earlier this week. I hear there was quite a line of people getting in for some free stuff right when they had their grand opening, and people in Gretna are pretty excited about that. AutoZone is opening a store at 50th and L Street in South O. They have 10 metro locations already. This one is under construction. Probably still has a few months to go. And that is your Perkins Kreitzer Construction lightning round report for the day. And that's pretty much it for this show. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Maggot.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, Perkins Kreitzer Construction, and Cheer Athletics. We'll talk with you next week at 9 o'clock right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Bum, bum, bum.
Nice show.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.